Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for November 3rd, 2019. Lots of great stuff, masterpiece, chug, everything coming right up. All right, before we get into all the great news this week, I just want to remind you that my sponsor and partner, Show Z, has a sale coming up on the 10th and 11th, starting at noon on the 10th Eastern Standard Time. So, if you buy $100 worth of stuff, you get an additional 2% off, and then $500, you get an additional 5% off. And then premium members that day, all day, during that time frame, get 7 points back or 7% back via store credit. And so, hey, I'm going to be buying some stuff that day. I'm making my list and checking it twice, but just a quick reminder on that one. First thing I want to talk about is Hound, and we've got more pictures and box pictures, and it feels like this thing's coming. I fear it's going to get delayed like every other Masterpiece release has, but it feels like it's pretty far along. We've got the box pictures and all that stuff, and I haven't even seen a Bumblebee's box picture yet, so it's coming along pretty good. It looks amazing. It's just every time I see the picture of this, I think it's just awesome. Hoping the transformation is pretty simple, or, at least intuitive. And that definitely is a nice looking alt mode. Now, for those of you who want the X Transbots Cup, this is not saying that, hey, it's coming anytime soon, but there are pre-orders on Terry's Transformers Fans Club. It's terrystfclub.com. And so that's actually kind of exciting that, hey, there's actually a pre-order for it, and I really want to see it. And these pictures look different. They look like some newer pictures, so pretty interesting, pretty exciting, and I want to see this cup. Another bit of Masterpiece news is now we're seeing the DX9's trailer, or I guess you could say the whole Motormaster, but that trailer's long. It's long in the trailer. And a comparison with Fans Toys Road King, and a lot of people are curious about this, including myself. I really can't wait to see how it transforms and turns into it. But I personally am more excited for the X Transbots one because they've released more figures, they're further along, and that set will be complete first. Come on, X Transbots, step up, let's get it out. The amazing Yamaguchi Rebel Tech Optimus Prime is available for pre-order. Well, no, it's actually in stock. You can order it right now on ShowZ for like $78. Now, some points of clarification that I wanted to seek out before I talked about this, and it turns out that this guy is about 6 inches tall, maybe a little shorter than 6 inches tall, it's a $78 figure, but it's extremely highly articulated, and it looks a little on the stylized side, but it is interesting looking, and it is pretty cool. I think a lot of people are looking forward to getting this, and of course, Prime sells, but this has that whole pelvic thrust thing going on. And yeah, it's interesting. And hey, for a 6-inch figure, I mean, would this work in your Voyager collection probably? Next bit of Masterpiece news. Somebody, I guess, decided to take it upon themselves to insert some color into Fans Toys FT40. So this is what it could look like colored. I doubt it. Probably not. I think that's too busy and too much going on. But it is interesting for someone to take a stab at what this could possibly look like with a little bit of color on it. And speaking of a little bit of color, there's no color on this thing, but this is awesome. So I don't know if you guys remember the giant Metroplexes. Well, there's a picture floating around now of this giant Fort Max, and that is awesome. That really is awesome. And I don't know how far they're going to go with it. And these people that are making it, are they making it themselves? I mean, I really have a lot of questions about this. It's really cool, really interesting. I like seeing stuff like this. And yeah, this is way bigger than the one Fans Toys is making. Seems like this week there's a lot of Beast Wars news, and seeing as how I've kind of have a few Beast Wars figures and I'm interested in it a bit, I've got this one coming. And Black Arachnia, the big thing is that this is the correct transformation for the spider mode, and I think that they've shown pictures in the past where it was mistransformed, so a lot of people thought it was a terrible spider mode. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting figure, pretty cool looking figure. And definitely spot on with the animation. So, We had that silhouette for the Jiangxing Tigerhawk, the Tiger Eagle, and well, now it's up for pre-order. $5 down to get your pre-order at Show Z right now. And this is, I don't know where this picture came from. It came from Show Z, but I don't know where they got it from. But it's kind of interesting, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. And I personally think this could be sort of a remold, a little bit, change a few things. Can we get a silver bolt out of this? I really wanted a silver bolt. My heart's broken. But I'm still excited about this figure. The next bit of Beast Wars news in the Masterpiece line is this Trans Art Beast Wars Transmutate. Now, there was, I think, one episode that they had this Transmutate character in it. So this is one of those oddities popping up. And I think this is going to be the first release from this company, Trans Art. And it is really cool looking. I like the way it looks. It comes with 3 faces, and it's really tall. It says here 11.42 inches tall, highly articulated, contains LED lights, includes 3 faces, and it's $54. That's pretty cool, and it's up for pre-order right now. And when is the availability on this thing? Well, it says January of 2020. Next bit of Beast Wars Masterpiece news. You knew if you waited long enough that $320 Megatron would come down in price. Yes. And, well, this is a KO by a company called Toys Mage, and this is going to be TM01 Beast Wars Megatron. It's going to cost $105. Way better, way better price than $320, in my opinion. I've got mine pre-ordered, looking forward to getting it and reviewing it and discussing quality. Does the pelvis crack like the other ones? You know, like the official. And here's the thing, it's supposed to be coming out, I think it comes out in December, and availability late December of 2019. And look, this shows me that they've already got this thing pretty much ready to go. I mean, they've already got it in package and stuff, so this might very well have this by the end of the year. But all these figures that are popping up in these different KO companies, these different companies, third-party companies making their own product, and all this stuff popping up just makes me wonder. It kind of reminds me of 2014 when we're coming out of the woodwork to make G1, and now you got all these other companies, well, third-party companies, coming out of the woodwork. And now we've got the same thing sort of going on, and it's with everything, though, not just G1. There's this Vecma making the head warriors, this obstinate. So here's the thing, that we have some headmasters. I think Unique Toys was doing headmasters, so it'd be interesting to see a different take on it. And I don't know size or scaling or any of that stuff just yet. So I'm going to get it, I'm going to review it, and we'll talk about size and scaling. So it'd be interesting to go down this path, and maybe they do a whole bunch of these. Y'all remember the company Mr. Moon? Now, they made that 2-pack where you got the Legend size blaster and a Legend size Perceptor, and they were okay, and I like them, actually. I like both of them. They're both great figures, and they're simple, and they look okay, and they're solid. They don't break. They can take a shelf dive and not break and all that stuff. But the Perceptor is the only Perceptor we have. Well, they're making a Cliff Jumper and probably a Bumblebee. But it's interesting that they're coming out and doing this. And they call it the Grasshopper. And there's a render of what the alt mode's going to look like. So, I mean, I would assume that they would still, make a Bumblebee also. But interesting that we're getting them to enter into the race again. And, of course, I feel like Mr. Moon is related to Mech Fans Toys. And I like Mech Fans Toys, so I'm probably going to like this. So there's this statue from XM Studios, and it's the Bumblebee exosuit Spike. And it also comes, I guess, with just a Bumblebee in alt mode, too. And it's interesting looking. Like, this exosuit is really, like, super real world. Doesn't look tuned at all. And none of this looks tuned, but highly detailed. I don't have pricing on it yet, but, statues are always expensive. And, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I figured I'd throw it out there. But the eyes, you have, like, interchangeable heads and eyes and faceplates or whatever. I don't know all that detail. But it lights up, which is cool. And then, you know, statues have to look perfect all the way around, and it does look good. And there's this interesting little thing that Tommy's doing, and they're putting out a recolor of their Legends Bumblebee, and they're putting it out with kind of a headmaster, the exo suit. And it's to go along with this rock band. It's interesting how you can have this, I guess it's a Japanese rock band over there, Bump of Chicken, something like that. And there's going to be a t-shirt that goes along with that too. You could get their t-shirt, we'll go with them. But it's really interesting how they'll put a figure out to go along with the rock band. And this is really cool. I keep forgetting to go to Dollar Tree and check it out, but at Dollar Tree, they have Transformer, they're like bag clips. You clip these on your bag, whatever, or you could use it as a keychain, or you could pop the whole keychain mess off and just put them on your shelf. Just put them on your Legend shelf, I'd assume. But I would like to get a hold of a few of these. Are $1 each if they're at the Dollar Tree, I assume. I haven't made it to it yet to check it out, but check your Dollar Tree if you're interested in these. And Shockwave's Lab is making an upgrade kit for the Siege of Mega Supreme. And this is cool because it's got lights. So you've got lights for the gun and lights for the eyes. And I think it's really cool. I like this kind of stuff. I like it when it lights up. I really thought Hasbro should have done it. Hasbro should have put the voice chip in too. Like, you're charging more and giving us less. I love that about the Metroplex. Transitioning into some Star Wars, I do want to throw out, I guess, a shout out to Usual Mike Television. And this guy is from Australia, and he is super excited about Star Wars. He's always talking about the next figures coming out. He gets excited. He does pretty much daily news on Star Wars. And I have to say that I kind of draw some inspiration from him, because I kind of am losing some of my Star Wars oomph. Not as excited about it anymore. And even the original trilogy stuff, when it comes out, I'm just kind of like, we've already been there and done that 100 times. I'm not so excited anymore. And this dude gets excited and kind of tells me why he's excited and kind of keeps me invigorated. And so go check him out, Usual Mike Television. And yeah, he's awesome. Also, he talks about the troubles and trials and tribulations of getting product in Australia. And I have to say that I am kind of thankful that we can walk into all these stores and just stuff's there. I mean, it may not be a lot there, but there's something there. And that the ease of ordering online and getting it here in the US. And so I am appreciative of that. And he kind of reminds us of, like, hey, I wish I could get that. You know, if you're in the US, you could just walk in and buy that. Anyway, thanks, Mike. And he has a great name, right, Mike? Not to start the Star Wars segment on a sour note, but repacks for the vintage collection. And I have to tell you that when Walmart had the vintage, or it wasn't even called the vintage collection, it was called the Black Series, which was a mistake in the first place. 3 3/4 inch Black Series. And they came out in just boring packaging. I knew eventually some of them would get repacked. And I still bought, you know, 1 or 2 of each or whatever. And just because I didn't want to miss the figure, now you're going to get the figure again in beautiful vintage collection packaging. And I'm a mint and package collector, so that bothers me that they're doing that. Like, yeah, I do want to have it in the vintage style card back, but I don't want repacks that I already have. And now I feel like I'm just wasting my time buying the other ones. But anyway, it's going to happen. And I cannot believe that Star Wars YouTube, the Star Wars show, I can't believe that they actually blew up HasLab's cell barge. That's crazy. Like, they scored the inside of it. I mean, you have to watch the whole video and stuff, but they blew up a HasLab cell barge to reenact the whole blowing up scene from back in 1983. Yeah, but man, that's crazy that they did that, isn't it? And it's all charred looking and stuff, but yeah, they went and did it. And they went and blew up a HasLab cell barge, and they used, you know, the same camera that was used back then, the same studio and everything. So I'm sure there was a lot of talk about this, but the David Benioff and B.B. Wise have decided they're not going to be part of this trilogy project for Star Wars. And of course, I didn't really know a whole lot about this. I'm not super let down because I'm more like focused on what's going on upcoming this month, like Mandalorian and then Episode 9. And I know there's a whole lot of future projects in the works, but I'm not upset about it for a couple reasons. So they're not going to be part of it. We could have somebody else do it, I guess. But I think Star Wars is something that will fail if there is too much media, too much. It's just, if you take away the mystery and the weight and of the lore, then I think that it just gets oversaturated. And we felt that when Solo came out, because Solo was not a bad movie, but I think that Disney's going to get back to their oversaturation point, and everyone's just going to get sick of Star Wars. So they revealed a Kit Fisto and Plo Koon for the 6-inch Black Series line, and they look pretty cool. They look good, and somebody was telling me that this year they're going to see a lot of the prequel stuff and like a resurgence of prequel, and so I don't know if that's fan-driven or they're just doing it to do it, but I know my son, my 10-year-old son, is excited about a lot of this prequel stuff coming out, and just like... I just picked up an Obi-Wan. I guess I can show that to you here in a second. But yeah, these figures look good. They look Jedi. I mean, the heads look great. And as you can see back there, there's a different Obi-Wan. So like they're redoing the Obi-Wan, and I don't have a good picture of that, but they're also redoing the Anakin. So I got a quick picture of Anakin, and looks like they're redoing him too. So when they redo these figures, it's my understanding they're really just putting a new head sculpt on and freshening up kind of the gear, but it's the same body underneath. So we just got this guy. This Anakin was just reissued in the archive line not too long ago, and clearance stuff for $11 at Walmart. So it just blows my mind when they do stuff like that. So I was out at midnight on the 1st getting that that Halloween candy for half off. I'm the guy that's the first person there to get it when it's half off, and I had a couple minutes to kill till midnight, so I went to Walgreens. I found Obi-Wan Kenobi here. Now, it's more for my son because he gets excited about these. But I guess it's a Walgreens exclusive. And so I was able to pick it up for him. And he's going to be excited come, don't tell anybody, Christmas. Yeah, so if you're in the market for it, check your Walgreens because they might very well have it. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news in review. Did you find any other news going on out there that I didn't cover that you thought was really awesome? Share it with me down in the comments. Like and subscribe to Dear Hamer. Out.